between the Oakland Raiders and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
First down, here's Cousins. This one taken in by Olabisi Johnson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Check 55 to Mike. Let's go, D.
A first down throw for Cousins. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Carl Joseph came roaring in on the safety blitz.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Cousins gives way to Cook. Finding room inside the 40. A big play there out of Cook. Giving 42 yards on the ground. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch Derek Carr grow as a pro. When he was a rookie, they tried to game plan around him so that he didn't have too much responsibility. Now, I don't think they can heap enough things on his shoulders because they know he can handle them.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
In the NFL, we love to talk about bloodlines and how important they can be. And for Zay Jones, he's got a terrific one. His dad, Robert, longtime linebacker in the NFL, big time with the Dallas Cowboys. And his uncle, Jeff Blake, a starting quarterback in the NFL at one point. Wonder if he played catch with Uncle Jeff in the backyard a few times growing up.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Get that ball. Get that ball.
On play action, it's Carr. They'll roll him out right. He'll try and run it. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
On play action, now Carr sliding out of the pocket. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle the team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Now a play fake. Carr steps away. He wants it all for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And the catch made by Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Throwing is Cousins. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Max Crosby in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
3rd and long for Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
This is taken at the 15. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to
try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Now Cook. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the carry, it's Cook. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
On the ground, it's Cook. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
Watch the screen.
The first run for the backup of Abdullah. But he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
In your face. Check.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Barely got the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive 7 plays in length, and it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now Carr. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Play action. Now it's Carr. Well, he's going to go for it all. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Daniel Carlson on for the field goal. Remember, he was drafted and released by the Vikings. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Daniel Carlson on for the field goal. Remember, he was drafted and released by the Vikings. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So not the strongest of kicks we've seen him make, but he gets a favorable bounce, and it's 3 points all the same.
Yeah, that was one of those where he needed the 6-iron, but he pulled out the 9-iron. That one was run out of gas quickly, but he does manage to pop it over the bar.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is...
That is the wise play, because if you...
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan. We now proceed to the start of the second half.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play that time for the Raiders. 43 yards. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big game.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Throwing now is Carr. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. He's at the 40. The 20. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. 75 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr forced out to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Sherrill's on the return. give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now.
Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. He's turning in a heck of a game. He's creeping up towards 200 yards, a pair of touchdowns now to go along with it.
There's so many things we can talk about in his game because we're seeing it all from him. But I love his vision. He's seeing the holes develop. He's seeing holes develop before they actually open. He's making sure he's getting to the right places, very decisive in his cuts. But his vision has been the key to all these big runs in this game.
And on that last long run, we got a pretty good look at his speed as well. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
On 2nd and 7, Carr. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary can really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone.
And look at this. It's a fake. Oh, but this is going to backfire as it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the 1st down run. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He finds his man Johnson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. To throw, Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff position?
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They run it with Jacobs.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Raiders on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. On the draw, Richard. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Carr now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 at the 19. Running is Jacobs. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Anthony Barr in on the tackle. Now they'll throw with Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
This 3rd down just got even more difficult. 3rd down and 15 after the false start. Shotgun now for Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And this belongs to the Vikings.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They run again on first down, Cook. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. He's going to sling this deep down. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big one there for the Vikings. And even 40 yards. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.
You